Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renae Novak at BlessedByCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here today to share with you another Make It Monday tutorial. Today, I'm going to share with you a fun background called Bokeh. And this is a technique that you can use with your sponge daubers and your ink pads. Now, I'm going to create kind of a fall-looking bokeh background. And I'm going to start with a piece of Whisper white cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick your colors. I chose Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Pear Pizzazz, and then of course you're going to need a craft white ink pad and some sponge dauber. So how you do this technique is you pick your colors. And I already started on this one so that it wouldn't take me as long. And I used the Cajun Craze and I just went into a circular motion. And now I'm going to come in with some crushed curry. And I'm going to share with you this technique. So you just get a little ink on your dauber. And you want to go kind of in a circular motion. You don't have to, but it's kind of the spotlighting kind of technique of the bokeh. And what this technique is this is somewhat of a highlighting, and the white craft ink is going to do what is called the bokeh, and it is going to kind of shadow and spotlight some areas. Now, if you remember a few years ago, Stampin' Up! Had an actual stamp, a bokeh stamp. That's since retired, but you can just create your own background. So I'm just going along here in a circular motion with some of the yellow, and this is crushed curry. And you can make it as dark or as light as you want. It depends on what color you're going for. And I'm just going for that little bit of a fall look. So I'm just going to put some here and there. And then I'm going to bring in my Pear Pizzazz. And I'm going to fill in all of those spaces, those white spaces that are left with my Pear Pizzazz. Again, I'm doing a circular motion, but for this part, I guess it wouldn't really matter. I just like to keep it in that circular motion. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and fill this all in. And again, you can go as dark or as light as you want. And I'm just using kind of a medium pressure. You don't want to tap too hard because then you get the look of the sponge dauber, which we are going to want in a few minutes when we do the white. We are going to want that sponge dauber image to show up, and I'll show you what I mean in just a few minutes. Okay, so let's just continue on getting this green on here. Of course, you probably will be a little more meticulous when you put yours down. I'm just trying to go quickly for the camera here to get some color on here. Okay, so now the magic begins, where you take your craft ink. And you do want a sponge dauber. For this part, you can use a sponge or you can use the blending brushes if you want. But for this part, you do want the sponge dauber because it's going to give you that look, that bokeh look, that spotlighting kind of look. So I'm kind of just pouncing in the same shape as the sponge dauber for a small one. And then I want to go in a circular motion just to get kind of that spotlighting technique. And you can make that spot circle as big to go through several of the colors. But you are going to want to get quite a bit of ink on there. So after you get that circular motion where you have your circle kind of drawn out for you, then you can come back and really add some of that white craft ink I'm pouncing on it to get more of the craft look. And then again, wherever you want the other highlighting to go, you just start with a circular. It can go as big or as little as you want. And then after you've defined your circle, then you can go back in and pounce and get more of that color. Now you will have to watch a little bit on your white pad. You do transfer some of the ink from the dauber onto the white, but it's negligible. Okay, so basically you're just going to continue doing that all over until you get the look that you want. And like I said, you can go off as light or as dark as you want. You can go off the page, and then you can just use the actual sponge dauber to bring in some of those highlights. Just pounce straight down and get that spotlighting look. And really, that's the technique. It is very, very cool. But what you will want to do is make sure this is dry, because the craft ink is a pigment ink. It takes a longer time to dry. But through the magic of TV, I'm going to bring in one that I did with a different color. This one, just so you can see the difference. This one is done with the Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, and Fresh Freesia. It gives a totally different look. And on this side, I did this is Pumpkin Pie, Pear Pizzazz, just the two colors. And this one was Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, and Pear Pizzazz. So let me bring in my card that I created using this technique in these colors. And this is the Cheerful Basket bundle that I've created with this kitty, and I use the Stamparatus to stamp my greeting because you want it to go through. This color is thicker, so you do want to use the Stamparatus, so in case you want to stamp several times to get that nice and dark. So that's it, my folks. The Bokeh technique for a fun background card. And that is my Make It Monday tutorial. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and share with your friends. Join me next Monday for another Make It Monday tutorial. And until then, be blessed.